I've actually felt that support myself. When I was in my late 30s, not too long ago, my mom was actually diagnosed, unfortunately, she was diagnosed with cancer. And I was very overwhelmed with all the medical information that was coming my way. Things can get kind of confusing when something like that happens. So I contacted everyone that I knew in USANA. And I am eternally grateful for all of their support. Literally, people were helping me read charts, speaking to doctors to make sense of all of the information. Can you guys imagine that? Like, people came together for me. It was just such a good time. And they helped us get through it. They gave me advice on diet, lifestyle, etc. Thank goodness my mom is recovering now, thank God. But I'm always going to be eternally grateful for the USANA community.
Wow, that gets me emotional. It's actually hard not to, let some of the tears flow here, but I'm just so happy to hear that, especially knowing how much support is required. It's just so important during that difficult time, Michael.
Yeah, me too. It made a big difference in helping me get through that, to be honest.
Whenever I hit road bumps, I admit I allow myself to have a bit of a moment, a bit of a breakdown, but then you know what I do?
What?
Well, I realize instead of focusing on any of the hardships and problems that I can't control, I need to focus my energy on what I can control and rise above it. This can help all of us expand as a leader and as a person. It creates space and room in your life for more greatness.
That's excellent advice, that mindset, focusing on the things you can do.
Yeah, I feel like that's what's helped me find a stronger team. My team and I are so aligned and we have the same values.
Let's give her a round of applause.
I'm telling you, it really, really works.
I love how there's something for everyone in USANA. You know what I mean?
Oh, totally.
For me, I think it's inspiring others, telling stories. That's kind of what works for me. But that might not be what drives other people. So not everyone wants what I want. Right? But USANA has done a great job of changing to complement to what people want and appealing to their passions. So through products and different approaches, I've learned to refine my approach for each person's story. My story is different than your story. And if I listen to someone's story and their needs, it makes it easier to gear my approach and appeal to them. The world has changed, but what's really cool though is that USANA has changed. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and you know what? A lot does change, and yet so much stays the same. Like the vision of Dr. Wentz, and to create the healthiest family on earth.
Yeah, exactly. And when we look at the future, applause.
Healthiest family here.
Yeah, and when we look at the future, this is something to think about, right? Like when we look at the future, we think, what's going to change in the next 10 years? And it's really, really hard to predict, right? What's going to change in the next 10 years. So we try to build our business around that. But instead, here's what I want to challenge you guys with. Think about what's not going to change in the next 10 years. What are the stable things that will be there in the future? Try to build your business that way.
Oh, okay. I like that approach. What's the answer?
Well, I think that people will always need health, and people will always need the ability to make money. That's never, ever going to change. 100 years into the future, they will still need to take care of both, and USANA at its core addresses those things. Those needs will always be there. Let that be your focus.
I love that. Doesn't that sound great?
Yeah.
So amazing. But here's the thing. If you're not contributing on your own journey, you're not growing. And for me, USANA has been a vehicle that creates so much clarity in its ability to live a life that's in harmony with who I am. I want to show up in the world with congruency, with my values and my beliefs at the forefront. So I can get on board with change and creativity. I love that with everything else. And as long as I have that state of consistency, we're winning.
And whatever version of USANA works for each of you here today is great. What's most important is that you find your USANA why. Figure out what works for you, what motivates you, and what inspires you.
Pave the way for your own journey. USANA opens the door for growth, leadership, and development.
You just got to walk through those doors. and embrace the community and relationships you'll form along the way. What's crazy is that some of these bonds will stay with you for a lifetime. I know there's people here that I've known since the very beginning, still going strong, which is really cool.
Exactly. You know, it reminds me of a beautiful quote, the words of Maya Angelou, when she said, "People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel."
That's great advice for every person you interact with, whether it's prospects or people in your team. Because when you lift and motivate your team, we're all lifted together.
I feel the same way, Michael. Now, before we wrap things up, I want to talk to everyone that's new to USANA. Who here is attending convention for the very first time?
All right, come on, let's meet your first timers. Let's hear it.
Okay, so to all of you that are new to this path, I want you to remember this. We tend to overestimate your first years and underestimate your years after. To keep that motivation month after month, year after year, embrace the entrepreneurial mindset and fall in love with the journey. Work on you first, because your work is often a reflection of your own mindset. We have resources, we have endless support, so fall in love with this process. USANA has everything we need right here. You can face any challenge.
Just hang in there and embrace the journey.
With the right mindset, attitude, and vision, along with a strong plan and crystal clear goals, you can do this. There are no limits if you bring that.
All right, guys, thank you,
Thank you,
USANA. We'll see you guys at the convention.